Hello guys, this is 12530 back in with another video, and today you guys will be seeing not my first game, but a few games in onto the Battlefield beta. I wasn't able to record my first game thanks to a few glitches, but hopefully things go okay. So yeah, today I'm just going to be doing a few of my thoughts of the video and show you guys the rest of my gameplay. Now mind you, I'm not very good, per se. Like, I'm okay at the game, and I do pretty well for most part, but this isn't like Battlefield 4 where I can go like 60-0 in some games. This game, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna be doing you're gonna be going like 23-10 and stuff like that. I think my best kill streak in this entire game so far has been a 10 kill streak, and that was with a semi-auto rifle. As you guys can see right here, I'm using the support class. Later I switch up to the recon class because obviously, as you guys saw in the beginning clip, I like sniping in this game. As for what I think about the beta, I am actually having a lot of fun with it. I've played quite a few games, and it's been the only thing I've been playing, and as you guys can see, I'm starting to get the hang of it. But there are three things I want to talk about today, and they're things that most people don't know. So, first things first. How do you know what class level it is, and how do you know how you get your guns? So, there's going to be a tab in the menu called the Armory, right? And what you do is you can go into the Armory, and that will allow you to purchase new weapons, and, you know, the attachment types for them, and stuff like that. So, my best case scenario, in my scenario in this case, I'll give you guys a good example. Let's say I'm level 3 with the assault class, right? Yeah, I think it's level 3. And I can purchase the Gewehr 98 for 0 because they made it 0, but I can purchase a scope for 900. That'll give me the scope with the special camouflage pattern. And I don't know how this guy didn't kill me. But either way, back on topic. So, how do you know what class level you are? Well, what's going to happen is when you're in the armory, it's going to tell you what class level you need. And at the end of every match, you're going to get a little if you go over to, I believe it's progression, it'll show you what your class ranks are and how close you are to the next one. Recon, it's 5 and 10. That's the times that it takes for you to get an upgrade. So you need a new weapon. So 5 for the semi-auto, 10 for the other one. The medic has the most weapons, I believe, or the medic and the support. The assault has 4 weapons as well, but they all have 4 weapons except for recon, which has 3, but that's not to be surprising. So yeah, that's how you figure out how to buy weapons. Next thing's next, weapon upgrades. If you guys don't know, there's sort of like a talent tree now in the game, to where if you go to my company, you can see it going on in the menu. It'll say your company, and then it'll say upgrades. Once you're to a certain level with a weapon, you can buy upgrades for a certain amount of war bonds, I guess they're called, or whatever the currency. And they give you certain perks. Like the one I had on for this machine gun when I started this was I had it to where I can aim down sights faster. As you guys can see, I'm snap aiming, and that I believe it was a better sustained rate of accuracy. I don't know for sure, but I'll get back to you on that later. As for my last tip, it'll be my last thing that a lot of people don't know is that buying I say this in a way that's kind of easy to understand. When you buy a scope, like in game, like let's say if I bought like a long range scope or like a reflex sight or something, whatever weapon I buy that for, it's going to unlock the sight immediately. So in this case, like let's say I buy like a certain aperture sight or something for the Bren, because the Bren doesn't start with unlocked sights most of the time. If I buy those, then I will be able to use that scope with that pattern, and it'll allow me access to the scope. So it allows you to sort of circumvent the whole, oh, I have to upgrade and buy the scopes and all that. But it also makes it to where you know, if you already have it, you can get like a bit more bling out of it. And I don't know how I didn't see this guy. I really wish I would have, but that's my fault entirely. So yeah, I guess for the next part, I'm going to go over the classes in general, how good are they, how bad are they, and my general opinions. So first class I'll talk about is Assault. Basic tier I can say is best weapons overall, mind you. Best weapons overall. Probably the only really good gadget I saw was the Panzerfaust, which is the rocket launcher, and that's only because that can take on vehicles. Every other one I haven't seen much of a use for, especially the grenade launcher, since it only does 30 damage, at least most of the time from what I've seen. As for, well, that's all I have for the assault class really, but really good class. I recommend it if you're not very good at the game. Either that or support. Speaking of, I guess let's head to support first. After that, support has decent weapons because instead of the assault where it has assault rifles and DMRs, or semi-auto rifles, if you ever call them, they have LMGs, but all of them are really good. The only ones we had access to here were the light machine guns, the ones that had like only the mags and stuff like that. I would say out of those, the Bren is very good, the starting one is pretty good, and the FG42 is amazing. They also have access to shotguns, but I haven't been able to try those out yet. As for gadgets, the things that are useful, the mines are useful, the ammo crate is useful. Basically every single gadget it has is useful, and because you have the ammo crate, or the ammo pack or whatever, you are the only class in the game that has infinite ammo, which means that as long as you can keep your health up, you're fine. So yeah, I recommend that class to beginners, you know, people who can't, you know, don't know how to use weapons very well and need the ammo. So yeah. Next one I'm going to be going over is the medic. The medic I don't really like in this game. I have very little gameplay with it. And that's because even though I like the fact that it has submachine guns, I like, you know, the playstyle they're trying to adopt, I need to get more in depth in the class because the Sten, even though I like the gun itself, is not I want to see the other weapons. But the gadget, healing yourself is good. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's still something. So healing yourself is definitely good, especially with the especially with the new regen policy and all that. As for its other gadget, the grenade launcher, I'm not a big fan of it either. It's the same thing as the assaults, and it's not very good. But I will say this, the mech is definitely a good one if you're a team player and you just, you know, you have too many supports and stuff like that, and you need somebody to keep reviving. Let's see what else. As for the last class, Recon, which I'm using right now, the class basically has the best long-range potential. It's basically a 50 damage, you know, and 100 to the head, obviously, for the most part. Well, not 100 to the head, but one shot kill to the head. And they have the spotting, or whatever you want to call it, the stupid binoculars and bouncing betties to start off with. They also have the spawn beacon and the spotting flare. The spotting flare I've seen is pretty good. The spawn beacon is, well, the spawn beacon, so it's really good. And the spotting binoculars actually aren't that bad. They're kind of useful in like Maverick and all that, like the snow map, because you can see people from like super far away with it. As for the weapons, I like the Lee Enfield and the bolt action, the semi-auto. I have not tried the bolt of the Car 98 yet because I just haven't unlocked it, but from what I've seen, it's really good. Let's see what else. Other than that, I think this game has terrific gunplay. I've played a lot of rounds, and I'm getting killed by things in the ranges that I should be, as well as the fact that you know, just playing my way. And look at this dirty kill here. I don't know how I killed this guy. I literally fired off into the smoke trying to hit the first guy, and I somehow hit the second guy coming out of the smoke. So yeah, other than that, I don't have much else about the beta to really speak of since I'm still going through it. As for the maps, I love the maps and the views. And I think with the new movement system, it's definitely going to make the whole transitioning in between engagements type deal a lot better, and it'll allow role players to do their job. Because if you guys don't know, there is a big role-playing community for Battlefield 1, or for Battlefield just in general. I've actually been a part of one of them once, and it's actually kind of fun. But the thing is now with the whole, like, you know, being able to climb yourself back out, the whole, like, rolling when you land on the ground thing and, like, catching yourself, you know, it's all a great little feature that actually kind of makes it fun to play. Other than that, as you can see, the visuals are just amazing. I love the sound quality. I will give EA that. They did a very good job on the sounds. Let's see. There are 3 negatives I have, though, about this game. One is that there is a glitch going on that me and Mayhem found the other day, and that was where, if you revive a teammate that's super close to near death, like the game's registering them as dead. Like, it's super rare, but if the game does register them as dead, and you still are able to revive them before it hits, like, right on the tip of 0, they can get spawned in an infinite loop, where they can no longer respawn until they are killed, and they're stuck there prone on the ground. So it makes them really, really irritating, because you can basically just take everyone out the map instantly. As for that, if you guys can see, quick scoping is kind of a broken thing, but I'm not having the biggest issue with that right now. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, the 3. The other thing is that you unlock weapons way too slowly in this game. Like, even like right now at the moment where, you know, I'm unlocking items, I'm not unlocking them fast enough. Like, you actually have to put in multiple games with one class just to get, you know, maybe even a rank sometimes. Like, the first 3 are easy. It's 4 and 5 that start getting challenging. And then getting anywhere higher than 5, you really need to be putting in score. And some of the classes just aren't very good at that. I know like with Recon, just getting kills and spotting targets is going to get you the most score. But like Assault, you had, like, your best score is coming from destroying vehicles, and you don't get your best vehicle destroying weapon until you're rank 4, and that's the rocket launcher, the Panzerfaust. Other than that, my last complaint is that the game itself is just hard to, how do I say it? It's hard to feel and get used to because of the way that, like, the game has changed so much from what it originally was that, I don't know, I feel kind of like out of place in a lot of cases. It's not something that a lot of you newer players would deal with, or like the Battlefield 1 mains, but coming from like a Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 player, it definitely feels really weird, some of these new movement systems and, you know, some of all the new crap. And I guess there is a 4th thing I want to complain about, but that's later. So yeah, if you guys are coming from an older Battlefield, this is going to feel a lot different, and it's going to make you go a bit on edge when you're trying to play this game. So one more complaint that I actually just came up with. The menu itself. The menu itself is way too complex. Like, I'm not even kidding. Okay, so to upgrade your weapons, you need to, first of all, you need to go into your, like, your company thing. Then you need to go to your weapon in the class, then you have to go to upgrade, then you have to make sure your weapon's of that level, then you have to make sure that you unlock the thing and make sure that the purchase doesn't fail, which means you first have to purchase it for the game in-game currency, and then you have your upgrade done. So next you go on to just customizing. Just to customize your weapon or to buy a weapon in general, you have to go to the armory, which means that you have to go in there, buy the weapon, if you're of class rank, mind you. Then you have to buy the attachments if you don't already have them, which are, they're like 900 a pop, which is, you know, about 2 upgrades in some cases, except for like the really late upgrades, but some of the early upgrades, that's about 2 of them, 2 to 3 of them actually. So it's a lot of money to invest in just a scope, and it's kind of sad because I really wanted, like, it's a good progression system, but it makes you sink so much time into a single thing that you can't really, you can't really experience everything, because by the time, you know, you have one class really pimped out and, you know, everything's all good and dandy. Oh, by the way, you know, the entirety of the stuff you were doing, you know, with that class, you know, none of it matters if you're going to try and work on another class, because now that you're working on another class, you're starting from scratch, your weapons are trash compared to the people who leveled them up, and it's a completely different playstyle to get used to. So it definitely, it's rewarding for the people that like sticking with things, but it's also really annoying for those people who, you know, after they've completed something, want to branch out, because now they have to adjust to a whole new playstyle and all this other junk. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be posting more of the beta later tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, I'll be seeing you all later.